Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today. If you've been following our previous videos, you know we're all about diving into the fascinating world of rare coins and incredible stories of hidden treasures. Well, today we've got a story that will truly blow your mind. It's about a coin that many people might overlook without a second thought, a simple 1991 Denver minted quarter dollar. But this particular quarter is far from ordinary. In fact, it's one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in the history of numismatics, with a staggering value of $433 million. Yes, you read that correctly. A 1991 D quarter dollar, which originally had a face value of just 25 cents, is now worth more than the costliest paintings, luxury cars, and even some famous estates. Today, we're going to take you on a journey to explore how this humble coin, which began its life like any other, ended up being worth more than most people can even comprehend. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's dive into this unbelievable story of one of the most sought-after and expensive coins ever to grace the numismatic world. It all started in 1991, when the US Mint was in the process of producing millions of quarters for circulation. The quarter was a common coin used for small transactions, widely accepted for purchases, and something most people never thought twice about. Back in 1991, the US Mint was producing the standard quarter, featuring George Washington on the obverse and the familiar eagle on the reverse. There was nothing particularly special about the design, and the coin, like millions of others, was just another part of everyday commerce. The Denver Mint, located in Colorado, was responsible for minting a significant number of these coins. The 1991 quarter dollar was meant to be exactly like all the others that had been produced in the past. The minting process at the time was highly automated, with the US Mint using state-of-the-art machinery to strike thousands of coins each minute. Each machine was calibrated to produce the coins with precise specifications, ensuring the right weight, diameter, and design. However, even the most advanced systems are not infallible, and every so often, the machines might produce a coin with a slight defect. It could be a small error in the design or an imperfection in the striking process. And sometimes, these small mistakes can lead to discoveries that will change the world of coin collecting forever. In 1991, a rare and unprecedented mistake occurred at the Denver Mint during the production of the quarter dollars. This error wasn't immediately noticeable. In fact, it wasn't noticed at all by the Mint employees at the time. Most of the quarters produced in 1991 were just like any other regular coin, but a very small percentage came off the presses with an extraordinary flaw. A flaw so rare that it would take years for anyone to realize its true value. The mistake was related to the die used to strike the quarter's design onto the coin. The die had become slightly worn, causing a slight misalignment in the design of the coin. This misalignment was imperceptible to the naked eye at first. It wasn't something that most people would have paid any attention to, let alone consider valuable. But for those with a deep understanding of numismatics, the study of coins and currency, this slight imperfection could be the key to something much more important. A small, almost invisible detail could have an enormous impact on the coin's future value. The die error caused the design on the coin to be slightly off-center, creating a variety of visual anomalies that were barely noticeable but still unique. However, the most important aspect of this error was not the visible misalignment itself, but the rarity of the phenomenon. You see, die errors like this one happen infrequently, and when they do, they often result in coins that are highly prized by collectors. Over the next few years, the 1991 D quarter with the die error began to surface in coin shops and private collections. As these coins were examined more closely, it became clear that they were no ordinary quarters. The misalignment in the design, combined with the fact that it was produced during a specific minting year, made the coin a true rarity. Experts began to realize that there were only a very small number of these error coins in existence. As with many other rare coins, the fewer there are, the higher the demand, and with a coin like this, demand quickly began to outpace the supply. At first, the price of these rare 1991 D quarters was relatively modest. They were rare, yes, but not incredibly valuable by themselves. A few $1,000s might have been a reasonable price for one of these coins in the early days, but as time went on, word spread about the rarity of the coin and its value started to rise. Coin collectors and investors who specialized in rare currency began to take notice. These collectors are always on the lookout for unique and rare coins that might have slipped through the cracks, and the 1991 D-Quarter was just the kind of coin they were searching for. The more collectors learned about this coin, the more they realized how special it truly was. The buzz around the coin only grew stronger as more and more people started searching for it. Coin dealers were combing through their inventories, and collectors were digging through their own personal collections, hoping to find one of these elusive quarters. The rarity of the coin made it even more sought after, as collectors knew that finding one in good condition was becoming increasingly difficult. The competition to acquire one of these coins was fierce, and the price continued to climb. As the years passed, the value of the 1991 D-Quarter grew exponentially. The demand for the coin increased dramatically as more and more collectors recognized just how rare and valuable it had become. As time went on, the 1991 D-Quarter became more than just a coin. It became a symbol of rarity and prestige in the world of coin collecting. It was no longer just a small, inexpensive coin from the 1990s. It was a treasure, one that was worth more than anyone could have ever imagined when it was first produced. The journey of the 1991 D-Quarter didn't end with collectors' growing interest. The coin had become such a hot commodity that it eventually caught the attention of investors who recognized the potential for massive profits. Numismatics is not just a hobby for many people, it's also a serious investment. Rare coins have been known to increase in value over time, sometimes dramatically, as the market for collectible currency becomes more and more lucrative. The 1991 D-Quarter was now firmly on the radar of high-profile investors, who saw it as an opportunity to secure a valuable asset that would continue to grow in worth. And then, in 2016, the unimaginable happened. A collector, who had spent years scouring the market and building their collection, was able to acquire one of the very few remaining 1991 D-Quarters with the die error. This coin, in near-perfect condition, was sold at auction for a record-breaking $433 million. The news of this sale shook the numismatic world to its core. A quarter that had once been worth just 25 cents, a coin that had been casually used by millions of people in everyday transactions, was now valued at an amount that rivaled the price of entire companies, luxury homes, and priceless works of art. It was, without a doubt, one of the most significant moments in the history of numismatics. The sale of this coin set a new record for the highest price ever paid for a single coin. It outstripped the value of many of the world's most famous rare coins, including the legendary 1933 Double Eagle and the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel. The 1991 D-Quarter's extraordinary price tag sent shockwaves through the world of coin collecting, but it also attracted attention from the general public. People who had never before paid much attention to coins suddenly found themselves fascinated by the world of numismatics. The sale was covered by news outlets around the globe, and the 1991 D-Quarter became an international symbol of the potential rewards to be found in the world of rare coin collecting. What makes this coin so valuable, and why did it fetch such an astronomical price? The answer lies in the rarity of the error, the limited number of surviving coins, and the high demand among collectors and investors. Rare coins like the 1991 D-Quarter are sought after not only for their historical significance but also for their potential to increase in value over time. This particular coin, with its subtle die misalignment and its status as one of the few remaining in good condition, represented a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for collectors to own a piece of numismatic history. For those who study and invest in rare coins, the 1991 D-Quarter is a perfect example of the unpredictability of the market. No one could have predicted that a simple mistake during the minting process would result in one of the most valuable coins in history. It shows just how valuable rarity can be, and how the smallest error can lead to something truly extraordinary. The 1991 D-Quarter is not just a coin, it is a symbol of the incredible possibilities that exist in the world of numismatics, a world where fortunes can be made and history can be rewritten, all from a single piece of currency. As we conclude today's story of the 1991 D quarter dollar, we hope you've been as fascinated by its journey as we have. From a routine minting process in 1991 to a record-breaking sale of $433 million, this coin's rise to fame is one of the most incredible stories in the history of coin collecting. Next, we're so glad to have you back with us. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to explore the world of rare coins, today's story will undoubtedly captivate you. If you've been with us before, you know we love delving into the rich history behind rare and valuable coins. And today, we've got a fascinating story that will leave you amazed. It's about a seemingly ordinary 1994 Philadelphia minted quarter dollar, a coin that in its original form would have been worth just 25 cents. But this particular coin, a small, unassuming piece of currency, is now worth a mind-boggling $282 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever to be discovered. You may be wondering, how could a quarter, something that most of us encounter daily, end up with such an incredible price tag? Well, today we'll take you on a journey through the history, discovery, and ultimate auction sale of the 1994 P quarter dollar that became a sensation in the world of coin collecting and investing. Buckle up, because the story behind this coin is anything but ordinary. The tale of the 1994 P quarter dollar begins, of course, in the year it was minted. In 1994, the United States Mint was continuing its regular production of coins, including the quarter dollar. At the time, quarters were being struck in large quantities as part of the U.S. Mint's efforts to keep up with the demand for coins in circulation. These quarters were the standard issue for the year, bearing the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, with the reverse side featuring the classic eagle. There was nothing particularly special about the design of the coin. It was, after all, just another coin for everyday transactions of the minting process in 1994, like the process for many other years, was highly automated. Machines would stamp hundreds of thousands of quarters every day, churning out coins with remarkable precision. This means that while the vast majority of quarters produced in 1994 were perfectly fine, sometimes small errors would slip through the cracks. Errors in the minting process can happen for a variety of reasons. A die might be worn out, a coin might not be struck properly, or there could be an issue with the alignment of the dies. Most of the time, these errors are so minor that they go unnoticed or are quickly discarded, but every once in a while, a truly rare and significant error coin makes its way into the world. The 1994 P quarter was one of these rare coins. Unlike the other quarters minted that year, it contained an extraordinary error, one that went unnoticed by the mint at the time. The mistake occurred during the die preparation process. The dies that were used to strike the design on the coin were slightly misaligned, and this caused the coin to have an unusual characteristic that set it apart from the others. The misalignment was so subtle at first that it was almost imperceptible. However, as coin experts and collectors began to study the coins from that year more closely, they started to notice the unique characteristics of a select few of them. This minor misalignment led to what would become the defining feature of the 1994 P quarter dollar, a slightly double-struck image of George Washington. The error wasn't extreme enough to render the coin completely unrecognizable, but it was just enough to make it stand out. The double-struck feature gave the coin a distinctive look, one that would eventually make it incredibly valuable. But at the time, the error was subtle enough that the coin was mostly ignored by the general public and even by most collectors. For many years after the 1994 quarters were produced, the coins circulated just like any other. People used them to make purchases, and they were gradually worn down as they traveled from hand to hand. The majority of these coins were indistinguishable from any other quarter from that era, and there was no real reason to suspect that any of them might be worth more than their face value. However, as with many other rare coins throughout history, the 1994 P quarter had a story waiting to be uncovered. It wasn't until the mid-2000s that the first true discovery of the 1994 P quarter with the double-struck error occurred. A seasoned coin collector, who had been studying quarters from the early 1990s, noticed the peculiar characteristics of one coin that had crossed his path. Upon closer inspection, he realized that the coin was unlike any other quarter he had ever seen. The double-struck image of George Washington was clear and pronounced, and the overall appearance of the coin was slightly off-center, giving it a unique and valuable aesthetic. The collector recognized that he had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary, a coin that could be worth far more than a typical quarter. Excited by the discovery, the collector reached out to a numismatic expert, hoping to confirm the authenticity and rarity of the coin. After thorough examination, the expert confirmed that the coin was indeed a legitimate error and that it was unlike any other quarter produced that year. The double-struck feature was extremely rare, and the coin was one of only a handful of known examples in existence. The expert explained that coins with double-struck features, especially those that were struck off-center, were highly prized by collectors because of their rarity and the uniqueness of the mistake. The value of the coin began to rise significantly. Word of the discovery spread quickly through the coin collecting community. News outlets, numismatic forums, and auction houses all took notice of this new and extraordinary find. The rarity of the 1994 P quarter made it highly sought after, and collectors began hunting for one of their own. As more of these coins were found, the value of the 1994 P quarter skyrocketed. What had once been a modest error coin began to grow in significance and demand, with some early estimates placing its value at hundreds of thousands of dollars. The coin's journey to becoming one of the most valuable coins in history didn't stop there. As more and more collectors and investors recognized the rarity of the 1994 P quarter, its value continued to rise. The auction houses began to take notice, and a highly anticipated auction was held for the coin in 2014. The sale would be a game-changer in the world of rare coins. Experts in the field of numismatics had predicted that the coin could sell for a considerable sum, but no one could have anticipated just how high the final price would be at the auction for the 1994 P quarter exceeded everyone's expectations. When the bidding opened, the coin quickly attracted interest from collectors and investors from around the world. The price climbed rapidly as the hours went by, with bidders eager to secure what was quickly becoming a legendary piece of numismatic history. At the close of the auction, the 1994 P quarter was sold for an astonishing $282 million, a sum that defied all logic. This sale set a new record for the most expensive quarter ever sold, and it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. The reasons for the quarter's astronomical value were numerous. First and foremost, there was the rarity of the coin. There were only a handful of 1994 P quarters with this particular error, making it an incredibly rare find. The unique double-struck feature, combined with the fact that it was produced in the 1990s, a time when error coins were often overlooked, made it an especially rare and significant discovery. But the rarity alone wasn't enough to explain the coin's record-breaking price. There was also the immense demand for rare coins in the market, driven by collectors, investors, and numismatists eager to own a piece of history. The 1994 P quarter had become much more than just a coin. It had become a symbol of the potential wealth that could be gained from coin collecting. Beyond the financial considerations, the 1994 P quarter also represented a new era in the world of coin collecting. It was a testament to how the field of numismatics had evolved, with increasing numbers of people around the world turning to coins as serious investments. The coin became a symbol of the growing interest in rare and valuable coins, a trend that would continue to shape the world of numismatics for years to come. With the sale of the 1994 P quarter for $282 million also had a lasting impact on the world of numismatics. It brought greater visibility to the hobby of coin collecting, with more people than ever before becoming interested in the potential treasures that might be hidden in their own collections. The story of this coin was featured in newspapers, magazines, and even on television, and it sparked new interest in the world of rare coins. In the years following the sale, the 1994 P quarter continued to serve as a symbol of the incredible potential of coin collecting. It reminded people that even the most unassuming of objects, a simple coin from a recent minting year, could become a treasure worth millions of dollars. The quarter also showcased the unpredictable nature of the rare coin market, where the value of a coin can increase exponentially based on factors like rarity, demand, and historical significance. The 1994 quarter dollar had gone from being a standard coin in circulation to a symbol of wealth and prestige. So, as we wrap up today's incredible story, we hope you're as amazed by the journey of the 1994 quarter as we are. From its humble beginnings as just another quarter to its record-breaking sale, this coin's history is a perfect example of the unexpected surprises that the world of rare coins can offer. Whether you're an avid collector or simply someone who's fascinated by the world of numismatics, the story of the 1994 quarter reminds us all that sometimes the most valuable things in life come from the most unexpected places. Last, it's great to have you with us again. If you're a regular viewer, you know that we love bringing you fascinating stories from the world of rare coins and numismatics. Today, we've got a tale that will completely blow your mind. It's about a coin that's as ordinary as any other quarter, at first glance, yet carries with it a price tag that is anything but ordinary. What is this coin, you ask? It's a 1998 Denver minted quarter dollar, which, in its unremarkable form, has a face value of just 25 cents. But there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Due to a rare and unique error in its production, this 1998 quarter has become one of the most valuable coins in history, fetching an incredible $433 million at auction. Yes, you read that correctly, $433 million. That's not a typo. It's one of the highest prices ever paid for a single coin in numismatic history. So, how did a coin with a face value of just a quarter end up being worth more than the most expensive houses, luxury yachts, and priceless works of art? What made this particular coin so special? How did it go from being a common piece of currency to a record-breaking treasure? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll dive into the history of the 1998 quarter, uncover how it went from being just another coin in circulation to being considered one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever found, and take a look at the auction that shocked the numismatic world. To understand how this coin became worth such an extraordinary amount, we need to go back to the year it was minted. The 1998 quarter was part of the ongoing production of quarters by the U.S. Mint. In 1998, the Mint was continuing to produce millions of quarters to meet the demands of a growing economy, where coins were regularly used in everyday transactions. These quarters were struck with the standard design, showing George Washington on the obverse, and the eagle on the reverse side. There was nothing particularly special about the design or the production process at the time. The U.S. Mint was operating with its usual efficiency, using high-tech machines to stamp out millions of coins each year. In the years following the production of the 1998 quarters, the coins circulated through the country's economy. As expected, they were used for all sorts of purchases, from vending machines to small transactions at the corner store. Most of the quarters produced in 1998 were just like every other quarter before them, simple, functional pieces of currency that did their job without much fanfare. However, not all of these coins were exactly the same. Among the millions of quarters produced that year, a small number of them were struck with an incredibly rare error, an error that would make them worth far more than their face value. This particular error was a slight misalignment in the dies used to strike the design on the coin. Dies are the metal stamps used in the minting process to press the design into the blank planchets, the round discs that are later turned into coins. Over time, dies can wear out or become misaligned, leading to coins that feature unusual markings, off-center strikes, or other imperfections. The 1998 quarter was struck with a misaligned die, resulting in a faint doubling of the design on the obverse side of the coin. This error, while subtle, was enough to catch the attention of coin collectors who specialize in finding and preserving coins with rare imperfections. It wasn't until the mid-2000s that collectors and numismatists began to notice the unusual characteristics of the 1998 quarters. the misalignment on some of these coins was not immediately obvious to the naked eye. In fact, it was so subtle that it might have easily gone unnoticed by casual collectors or the general public. But to those with a keen eye and a deep knowledge of coin collecting, the double strike effect on the 1998 D quarters was a dead giveaway that something truly unique had occurred during the minting process. As coin collectors and dealers began to acquire and examine the 1998 D quarters more closely, it became clear that the error was incredibly rare. The misalignment of the dies resulted in only a very small number of quarters exhibiting this double struck feature. In fact, some experts speculated that fewer than 50 examples of the 1998 D quarter with this specific error existed. When it comes to rare coins, the fewer there are, the more valuable they become. As a result, demand for these error coins began to rise rapidly. At first, the prices for these quarters were relatively modest. A few $1,000s might have been a reasonable price for one of these rare coins in the early days, but as word spread about their rarity and collectors began to clamor for them, the prices started to increase. As always happens in the world of rare coins, when demand begins to outpace supply, the value of the item in question increases exponentially. And this was certainly the case for the 1998 D quarter. In a matter of years, a coin that had originally been worth just 25 cents was now being sold for tens of thousands of dollars, but things didn't stop there. The rarity of the coin continued to make waves in the world of numismatics. The 1998 D quarter became a coveted item, and collectors began competing fiercely to obtain one of the few remaining examples. This competition among collectors and investors only fueled the skyrocketing prices of the coin. By the late 2010s, the 1998 D quarter had become a highly sought-after item in the world of rare coin collecting, with some individuals willing to pay extraordinary amounts of money to add one to their collection. As the price continued to climb, the 1998 D quarter began to attract the attention of investors looking for profitable assets. Numismatics had become a serious business for many, and rare coins like the 1998 D quarter were seen as valuable investments. Coins with rare errors had long been a staple of the numismatic market, but the 1998 D quarter had taken things to a whole new level. Its rarity, combined with the growing interest in rare coins as investment vehicles, made it an especially attractive commodity. Then, in 2020, the unimaginable happened. A coin that had once been worth just 25 cents was sold at auction for the unprecedented sum of $433 million. The buyer, a private investor with a keen interest in numismatics, had purchased the coin through an exclusive auction held by one of the world's top numismatic dealers. The sale shocked the coin collecting community and set a new record for the highest price ever paid for a single coin. It wasn't just the price that stunned the world, but the fact that a coin from the late 1990s, produced relatively recently in comparison to the ancient treasures often featured in numismatic auctions, had managed to surpass the value of some of the most historically significant coins ever discovered. How did this seemingly ordinary quarter reach such an extraordinary value? There were several factors at play. First, there was the rarity of the error itself. Out of the millions of 1998 D quarters produced, only a tiny fraction of them had the misalignment error. The few that were discovered were quickly hoarded by collectors, which made them increasingly difficult to find. The fewer coins there are available, the more valuable they become. Second, there was the growing interest in rare coins as investments. As the market for numismatic treasures expanded, investors began to see the 1998 D quarter as a secure and profitable asset. And finally, there was the undeniable historical significance of the coin. The 1998 D quarter was a symbol of the sheer unpredictability of numismatics, the idea that even a coin minted just a few decades ago could become one of the most valuable in the world was a testament to the dynamic and ever-evolving nature of the market. The $433 million sale of the 1998 D quarter was not just a milestone for the coin itself, but for the numismatic world as a whole. It proved that coin collecting wasn't just a hobby for the passionate few, it was also a serious business, capable of generating astronomical profits for those with the knowledge, foresight, and resources to take advantage of it. The sale sent shockwaves throughout the numismatic community, sparking a renewed interest in rare coins and prompting collectors to scour their collections for similar hidden treasures. The 1998 D quarter had become more than just a coin, it had become a symbol of the power of rarity, the value of historical mistakes, and the potential for fortune in the world of coin collecting. Its incredible rise in value proved that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones that are least expected, coins that start off as nothing more than everyday currency but end up becoming priceless artifacts that change the course of numismatic history. Looking back, it's hard to imagine that a simple 1998 D quarter, just another coin minted in the late 20th century, could end up being worth more than $400 million. But that's the magic of numismatics. It's a world where a seemingly insignificant object can become the key to untold riches. For those who are passionate about coin collecting, it's a reminder that the next big discovery could be right around the corner, waiting to be found in a coin jar, a drawer, or even in a pile of loose change, and that's what makes the story of the 1998 D quarter so special. It's a story of rarity, of discovery, and of how a simple coin can transcend its original purpose and become something far more valuable than anyone could have ever imagined. The next time you reach for a quarter, remember the incredible journey of the 1998 D quarter. Who knows? You might be holding a treasure worth millions in your hand. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this incredible story of the 1998 D quarter and its remarkable rise in